Well, hello everyone. It's Friday, the 25th of August, start of the bank holiday weekend. I've just travelled back from central London where I've been working all month. 5.5 hours back up the road for me. It's been quite nice down there this week. But you get home to cold, damp northeast of England, which is not surprising, you get used to it by now. What temperature we got? Around 12 degrees in August. I'm sure we could do better than that. I think us koi keepers are a bit like solar panels. We sort of don't do very well in the cold and damp. But anyway, I thought it was about time I give you guys an update of where we're at with everything. Show you what's been going on in my absence. Fish are all doing well. They just could do with some better temperatures. I must admit that Deutsche Tuber has come on loads. I never thought I'd be so drawn to a brown and grey fish. But anyway, there's the new little Deutsche Tuber, which I'm hoping gets to the same size as the big sister. But yeah, they're just wishing for better weather really, like the rest of us. Let's go and have a look at what the actual pond temperature's holding at. Apologies, there's an airplane just going overhead. Somebody going to better weather. Good luck to them. Well, that's actually holding at 14.7. So it must have been a bit warmer today. It's just cool enough now, but the pond's actually holding a well temperature. Right, I'm just going to show you now a few clips of where I've been the last few months at work, just to try and help explain my absence from YouTube. Work has just been, as I've mentioned a few times, absolutely off the wall busy. It's just non-stop, which is, I suppose it's a good thing, but you just don't get any time to do anything you like these days. It just seems to be all work and very little play. For you who don't know, all I do for a living is install air conditioning units. Sort of a HVAC engineer. But since COVID, every building wanting its air quality to be up to standard, our company has just been relentlessly busy. We just can't get around the country quick enough to install all the new products, refurbish existing kit and install new. So here's a little insight to where I get to through the week, and I'll help you explain why I've been absent from YouTube and doing the stuff that I like to do with the koi. So enjoy.
Haven't seen these all for a while. As I've explained before, just been absolutely off the wall, busy with work, non-stop, relentless. But anyway, it's now Saturday, 26th of August, bank holiday weekend. It's actually stopped raining, which has been relentless this season. Absolutely terrible for the hobby. For myself up here anyway, I'm sure a lot of you have had the same weather down south. From what I've seen, but it hasn't been the best year for the sun in the summer. So spin you around and I'll just see what's happening here. So still only 14 degrees up north in August. I managed to weed some of the weeds out of the garden. I've left the ferns in because I'm not bothered how they look. I quite like the look of them. See how the guys are doing. New Deutsche tuber with the big sister. The Hayatsuri, which we just got recently. And somewhere will be the new Yami. That's the Jinrin Yami, that's the older one. Here's the new one, we just purchased this day, yeah. There, should I say. So, all doing well. Can't complain really. Just haven't had enough time to sit, relax and spend with them all. I must say that Yami, the new one, when you catch it in the sunlight, it just glows, radiant. The yellow one, it is just perfection. Utsuri gave us a little bit of problem. I had us quite concerned for a while, but we managed to sort that out. I'll talk through that more later on and explain to you what I went through and what I did with them. I don't know if you remember when I first got it, it had a bit of bag rub on one side, which then I was getting worried about it being infected, and it gave us a few months of scratching my head and being a bit concerned that it was going to be more than I could deal with. But we got through the problems with it with the use of salt and heat, which I will go into more later on. For now, we're going to show you where I'm up to. This is how busy it's been. The balls I took off in winter still in exactly the same place I left them. Just in the middle of a filter clean. So this is the Nexus 200, which follows on after the drum filter and the skimmer. As you can see, there's quite a bit of crap still comes out of this. Now has the K1 micro in the centre chamber. Just had the hatches up to check on the Bacterial river. So I call this my sort of nitrite chamber remover now. Almost looks like a nuclear rod reactor with those in like that, but that's give us no problems. There's not a lot of dirt gets held up in there. Then that follows into an old vortex, like, full of biohouse media, and then into a mocked up final stage filter that just catches anything before we return to the waterfall. Over here we now have the DIY shower that we made earlier in the year running. That's given us no problems, so happy with that. Main Nexus 300, which we know feeds the 200, which feeds the settlement tank or my quarantine tank or hospital tank that I've been using that lately. Then that tank returns to the Bacterial river and back in again. It's actually quite nice when the sun's shining. It's bloody too rare these days. Right, the DIY upflow filter, which feeds the shower filter, just to make sure no crap really goes in there and settles in the shower filter. So that's working fine for us. Happy with that. Most of all, just happy that these guys are alright and haven't given us any issues that I haven't been able to handle. We're always going to get parasites, ammonia, nitrite spikes, just different times of the year, different temperatures, different feeding regimes. You can keep on control of them. But when you get damaged fish with open wounds and potential bacterial issues, especially with all the talk of bacteria that we've had this year, and I think everyone's getting concerned about it as if it's some brand new strain that we've never dealt with or seen before. I don't think that's the case. Bacteria's been around a lot longer than we have. It thrives in certain conditions. These guys' immune systems thrive in certain conditions, and they're a lot weaker in other conditions. It really is a balance. But having a bit of knowledge and learning what you can do to help, as soon as you see the slightest sign of damage to a fish, or it's had flukes, they've been irritating it, it's been banging itself off the side, it's opened a wound up, knocked a scale off. Once that happens, bacteria has a good chance of taking hold of that fish. So I'm going to go into later what I did with mine, the Hyotsuri. As I said, it had us really worried, and how surprised I was how quickly it healed up.
Well, good morning everyone. Sunday the 27th of August on the bank holiday weekend. I've got my sunglasses on, not because it's lovely and sunny up here, but because I'm absolutely hanging. Took the wife out yesterday with the family. We celebrated a family birthday around in Durham on an all-day session. So in true Irish Geordie style, got absolutely smashed, and now I'm paying the consequence for it. But to pick up where we left off yesterday, I'm just going to talk you through the problems that I had with the Hyotsuri, one of the 3 fish that I purchased about 3 or 4 months ago now. So I'll just show you a photograph of what I had to deal with, and then I'll talk you through the process of what we did to heal the fish and get it right so it could go in the main pond with the rest of them. So about 3 or 4 months ago, one of my new purchases was this Hyotsuri. It had a bit of scale damage on the one side of transport over from Poland, been bagged up, sort of bag rub, which I wasn't too concerned about at first, because I thought it'll just get it in some good water, it'll heal. Then after obviously I quarantined the 3 new fish for about 6 weeks, but this one just wasn't healing very well in quarantine. So I'll show you a photograph of what I was sort of seeing myself and why I held off putting it in the pond with the rest of them for so long, because I was a bit concerned that it might be bacterial. So I'll show you that now, and you can see what I've seen. So that was the Hayutsuri about 5 weeks ago now. It just wouldn't heal. For months on end, it always looked sore on one side. So I contacted my koi dealer, Mr. Ashley Dart from Yoshiki Koi. I showed him exactly what had happened when I first got the fish, and so he was well aware of what had happened with the fish since I purchased it. He told me, don't worry about it. If you can do so, put it in a hospital tank and salt and heat it to the best temperature you can probably withstand. Now, not having an indoor setup, I had to do a bit of work on the quarantine tub, so I well insulated it. I got a heater, I heated it to 25 degrees and I salted it to 0.6, and within 4 weeks it fully healed up. It cost me a bag of salt and about £60 in electricity, probably to keep the heater going, and this was the result. I'll show you now. So, as you've just seen, 4 weeks at 25 degrees and salted to a salinity of 0.6. The Hayutsuri fully healed up. All of those red sore lumps on one side went away. The scales just went a nice clear white. And it was really impressive just to see how quick it actually heals in the right conditions. All it needed was a bit of salt and some heat for its own immune system to kick in and help the fish recover. So what I did To aid this, the quarantine vat, which if any of you know who've looked through my system before in previous videos, it's currently linked to the pond, but it can either be isolated from the pond and separate, where it just runs off the one Nexus 200 filter. But we insulated that filter, we insulated the whole vat right around all sides and underneath the decking. I put the glass lid on here, and that's where I heated to 25 degrees. And I say for the time of 4 weeks and salt, the fish fully healed up. So that's a bit of knowledge that I think everyone should know. If you can do so, get yourself a hospital vat, preferably somewhere that you can keep it indoors if you have a garage or outhouse, so it's cheaper for you to heat. Get it well insulated. Know that if a fish damages itself, I would now advise take it straight out of the pond, put it in that vat, salt it, heat, so the fish's immune system kicks in fully, and the results are great. I believe you need to catch these things early. Earlier you catch them, put them in there, let them recover in some salt and heat, and I think you'll save yourself a lot of bother in the future. That's certainly what I'll be doing should I get any fish with any more damage. I'm not going to give them a chance now for bacteria to take over. That will be the procedure that I use. So I hope that is informative and it's helped somebody else if needed. But yes, highly recommend quarantine hospital vat, something that's easy to heat and salt. Remember, I used 25 degrees. I believe you can go higher than that, which will help, anywhere from 25 to 28. And salt, I used 0.6 salinity, but I believe if the fish is in real bad shape, you can even go higher with the salt. But I haven't done so myself, so I'm not going to recommend that. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your bank holiday weekend, everyone. I've enjoyed coming back on YouTube again, and I hope that I get some more free time and I can come back to you soon. As always, thanks very much for watching, and have a good weekend. Bye now.